Welcome to the Inner Edge Coaching Podcast. This is a show where we cut through the noise to help men over 30 take control of their fitness, mindset and lifestyle. I'm Chris Jones, apprentice professional coach, physio, personal trainer and someone who knows firsthand how easy it is to push yourself too hard. Every week we dive into real strategies you can use to unlock your energy, confidence and performance, not just in the gym but in life. So let's get into it. This month's Men's Health Report showed that nearly 60% of men in their 30s feel constantly exhausted, even though they're working out. And I see this every week as a coach and a physio. I've even had it happen to me. Men are grinding at work, they're pushing in the gym, they're showing up for their families, but somewhere along the way, the fuel tank just runs dry. And that's burnout. So in today's episode, we're talking recovery, what burnout really looks like, how to reset your body and mind, and the long-term strategies to stay fit, focused and fired up. If you've been dragging yourself through work, forcing yourself into workouts, or just feeling like your spark has gone, this one's for you. Let's start with recognizing burnout, because awareness is the first step. Burnout isn't just being tired. Tired is fixed with a good night's sleep. Burnout is when your mind, body and emotions are drained. It's when you're running on fumes and you're numb to things that are going on around you. And here's what it looks like. So in the gym, your lifts plateau, there's no energy to push through and little injuries just keep popping up. You're going through the motions with zero drive. In your professional life, you're snapping at colleagues, your focus is gone, mistakes creep in and you're dreading the start of the week. At home, you're short-tempered, you zone out instead of being present, you stop enjoying the things that once give you energy. And then thinking that will all sort itself out. And here's the key point. It's not laziness and it's not weakness. This is your system waving a red flag. Your body, your brain, your emotions, all saying, slow down. Reset, or you're going to break down. Men over 30, especially those balancing career, family and health, often turn to destructive coping mechanisms when they're on the verge of burnout. These habits don't just come out of nowhere. They're usually a way of self-medicating when stress and fatigue become overwhelming. What that looks like, you might be drinking more, so you're having alcohol to switch off at the end of the day. That temporarily numbs stress, but that disrupts sleep and your recovery. And it often escalates from one glass of wine or beer to nightly dependence. Gambling more. This provides a dopamine hit and escape from reality. Feels like control in the short term, but often leads to financial and emotional strain. Using drugs or excessive stimulants to get through, recreational drugs or even overuse of caffeine, energy drinks for staying sharp, short-term performance boost but long-term nervous system burnout, or you might even be overtraining or have an addiction to the grind. That's less obvious but still destructive. Some men throw themselves harder into the gym or work, avoiding rest because stopping just feels like failure. Why are men in their 30s vulnerable? Cultural pressure to man up. There are providers, don't show weakness. That's bullshit. There's a responsibility load, job demands and family obligation. There's reduced outlets, so less time for healthy habits, social support, and some men just being useless at talking about their issues. There's an identity shift, so over 30s are moving away from their youth, might even be questioning their purpose. These habits are often symptoms, not the root cause. A professional coach helps men to spot patterns early. So when I feel like X, I reach for Y. They help you to build healthier reset strategies around exercising, journal, breathwork, community, and recognizing who's in your corner. They reframe recovery as strength, not weakness, helps men to replace destructive coping with sustainable ones. Okay. So what do we do about it? This is where we reset the system. I like to use the 3R rule: rest, refuel, recharge. Number 1, rest. It's not just sleep, though you need 7 to 9 hours. I'm talking micro breaks during the day, 2 minutes of deep breathing between meetings, 5 minutes outside before you walk in the door at night. In coaching terms, rest is about creating a margin or a buffer, an activity that buffers the next and allows you some space to breathe, space to reset. Number 2, refuel. When you're burned out, you crave quick fixes, coffee, sugar, alcohol, but they spike and crash your energy. So flip the script: whole foods, protein every meal, plenty of water. Fuel your body the way you'd fuel a high performance car, because that's exactly what it is. Number 3, recharge. This is where fitness and life coaching sort of overlap. In fitness, it might mean swapping HIIT for walking, heavy lifting for yoga, or simply just moving every day without pressure. In life, recharge means doing the things just that fill up your cup: journaling, time in nature, seeing a mate, laughing with your kids, or even just going to the footy to watch and support your team. So one of my clients, mid-30s, corporate job, came to me completely wiped. We replaced 2 of his HIIT sessions with 45-minute walks and 1 mobility workout. And within 3 weeks, his energy came roaring back. Not because he pushed harder, but because he gave his body and his mind permission to reset. So, long-term prevention. Here's the important part. You don't want to keep cycling in and out of burnout. You want to prevent it. So let's talk long-term strategies. First, you need to build smarter training cycles. Your body's not a machine, despite you wanting it to be. Plan lighter training weeks every sort of 6 to 8 weeks, and think of it like a service check for your system. Add deload weeks in, so it's reduced effort levels. You sort of get your gym fix and your body gets a rest. Second, put boundaries in. You can't say yes to everything: work, gym, family, social. If you're saying yes to everyone, you're saying no to yourself. Learn to protect your energy. Create a no list. What shit are you going to say no to? Third, routine audits. Once a month or once a week, ask yourself, is my training giving me energy or is it draining it? Is my work schedule sustainable or is it crushing me? If it's not working, adjust it before you break. Fourth, schedule downtime. If it's not in your diary, it won't happen. So book your recovery just like you would book your meetings. It might be a Sunday walk, a weekend without screens, or even a holiday where you don't train at all. And finally, don't go it alone. Burnout thrives in isolation. So whether it's a coach, a mentor, or just a supportive mate, having accountability and perspective can stop you from sliding back into burnout. Now, I want to hear from you. What's the first sign you notice when burnout creeps in? Is it snapping at people? Is it losing drive in the gym, or maybe struggling to switch off at night? I'll start. Mine is saying yes to everything, then worrying that I haven't got the time to do it, or that I'm going to have to cancel on them. So drop yours in the comments. I'll be featuring some of your answers in an upcoming Q&A, so we can build a community library out of burnout strategies together. Thanks for tuning in to the Inner Edge Coaching Podcast. If this episode hit home, make sure you subscribe, share it with a mate, and check out the next episode where we'll be diving into the hidden link between confidence and fitness. Or check out the latest episode on discipline and motivation, or even follow along on Insta at the Inner Edge Coach. And here's something important. I want your feedback. How's my clarity? How's the style? What would make this show more valuable for you? Your comments shape how this podcast is going to grow. Until next time, find that inner edge and keep moving forward. Thanks for watching.